Hi, I'm here with from the Dollop Podcast. It's Dave Anthony is here, and the miserable liberal Steph Zamorano. And I don't know if you heard what happened, but getting kind of tough for the Scotty Baio.
But isn't he in charge?
So he is. He's supposed to be in charge. So Scott Baio has claimed that the Red Hot Chili Peppers drummer's wife attacked him over Trump. So apparently their kids go to school together or something. They're at some kind of school event. And she just she's mad at him about Trump, right? Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of people having a hard time, most people.
Yeah.
And so she took it out on Scott Baio. But you can't take it out. Here, let's get to the story. And the 1980 TV star alleged that the California cops that Nancy Mack, the wife of Red Hot Chili Peppers drummer Chad Smith, began verbally scolding him at an event for their young children on Saturday due to his fervent backing of the president-elect, TMZ reports. She continued to repeat Trump's lewd remark over and over. That's the "hey, grab her by the pussy" line.
Yeah.
So she kept saying that over and over, telling him that everyone should hear it since the soon-to-be commander-in-chief said it. She then grabbed him beneath his arms and began shaking and pushing him, the Happy Day star told police.
They're really sticking in the fact that he's a washed-up star, aren't they?
The Ventura County Sheriff's Department reportedly has opened an investigation based on Baio's accusation, considering Mack a suspect for committing battery. Those connected to Mack, who is an architect, insist she's only attempting to demonstrate how Trump hugs women to
Amazing. Amazing. I mean, I love everything about this. I support everybody in this story. She's great. I mean, if you're going to, you know what? Why not go after him that way? Have at it.
Well, my thing is, if you're upset about Scott Baio being okay with Trump saying "grab her by the pussy," I would advise her never to read her husband's diary because you will never stop slapping him. He's the drummer for the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I'm surprised.
My husband wore a sock on his dick for 8 years, but what's happening with you is terrible.
I'm going to guess her husband was getting a blowjob while she was accosting Scott Baio.
It's really great. I mean, I wish I could have seen that just to be there.
You know what? I think it's, in a sense, it's funny because it turned out to be harmless. But I've had people accost me in public as a comedian.
Yeah,
I say things on stage, and people think they can come at you, and that's not okay. And so, like, when I get mad at somebody, I do a blog about it. I've been in the room with Glenn Beck and Ted Cruz. You can't go get in their face and start screaming at people you disagree with because you happen to be in proximity to them. Anybody I disagree with, I'm going to start screaming and accost them physically because no, you do. There's places to do that. So, and especially people in this business, we know that we're provocateurs and we have big opinions on things, and we have to be allowed to do that. That's what freedom of speech is, right? So when you go out and accost people in public, that's the exact opposite way to handle that.
Except it's Scott Baio.
You know
I'm
what?
with you up until it's Scott Baio, and then I have to go.
Not everybody does love Chachi.
That's right.
Joni does. Joni's also having a tough time.
Oh boy, poor Joni.
I hope she wants to make America great again.
Yeah, I bet she does.
So there you.
I know what you mean, but it's such a weird thing because the basic Trump guy, the basic Trump supporter is a very aggressive person,
yes,
and is very in your face. So
yes, when
stuff like this happens, I just think, well, you guys kind of started this. Now you poked a stick at crazy people. Like the Hillary people are really being nuts. So
are they?
You did poke a stick at crazy people, but you also started this. You know.
But Dave, when do you think the Hillary people will stop being crazy? Do you think they'll ever stop? Is it like George Bush supporters? They're just always going to be nuts a little bit?
I don't think this is going to end. I think this is just going to be a disaster for many years.
It's unbelievable what they're doing to the party. At what? In aid of what? A corporatist warmonger who couldn't beat the worst fucking most hated candidate in the history of the world? That's This is all about? That's what are you falling on your sword over? You really don't like progressives? You really don't want to have a progressive agenda? What is this all about? You're really upset that somebody wanted to have universal health care and free college and stop the crazy wars? You're really upset about that stuff? That somebody wanted to re-regulate Wall Street? What the fuck is wrong with half this party? And that's why we got to get them out of the party. The corporate Democrats are losers, and the people who backed Hillary Clinton in the primary are losers and need to get out of the party. And if they don't, by the way, I thought they would all wake up. They're not. I had no idea how on purpose stupid and destructive to their own cause the Hillary primary supporters would be. They're unbelievable. They're digging in. They're off the fucking rails. They want nothing to do with reality or how they can actually become better going forward. They're just doubling down on stupidity, kind of like the Republicans did. Hey, isn't that what we said? They are fucking Republicans, and that's the problem. Hey, that is the problem.
They are. I am now sitting here watching this happen to the left, thinking, oh, this is what happened to moderate Republicans 10, 15 years ago. They sat around and they went, why is everyone going crazy? And now we're them. We're that sort of old school moderate conservative Republican who, okay, on social issues, a little bit conservative with money, and then they're like, what the fuck happened? That's what we are. We're looking at these people going, what's going on right now? You're trying to start a war with Russia over innuendo? Like, what the fuck? Why don't you look at your responsibility, what you did, a little bit of introspection, take a look at maybe I got super behind a candidate who lost to a black guy with a Muslim name. And maybe that's an indication that that might not be a good candidate in your supposedly racist society. You know what I mean? Like, none of their arguments make sense.
None.
Because when you break them down, you go, well, if we're racist, why is there a black president right now?
Two-termer. Listen, we're going to talk more about this in our next story. That's why I don't mean to cut you off.
Yeah.
But we got more of this coming up. Scott Baio, I loved him on Love Boat.